Welcome everybody, I'm Carla Webster from Prana Yoga Studio, and today we're going to flow through a nice gentle practice suitable for beginners. You might find that some of the postures offer you a little bit of a challenge, so make sure that you have some props around you to start with. Maybe your yoga blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, a couple of tin cans. If you have a couple of blankets handy, get them ready, and a strap or a scarf or something like that, and for your comfort at the end, possibly a cushion or an eye pillow. So to begin, we're just going to start in a nice comfortable seated pose. So for you to sit comfortably, it may be that you're able to sit on the floor with the legs crossed like this. It might be that your legs are outstretched with the knees bent or straight. It could be that you're kneeling. What I like to do when I'm coming to a comfortable seat is to sit on a block. And this feels really nice in the spine. Okay, you can sit on a couple of cushions if you don't have the block. So if you get them ready and take a comfortable seat. So just rest the hands on the legs and close the eyes. And to begin a yoga practice, it's always really nice just to take a moment or two just to settle in, to notice how you're feeling today. So each yoga practice is different. You come to the mat with different things going on in the mind and in the body. So just take a moment to acknowledge whatever is going on with you today. And this practice is always here for you, to serve you, to nourish you, to help bring balance to your body and your mind. And it's always lovely to set an intention at the start of a yoga practice. So bring the hands to the center of the chest if you like, or you can keep the hands as they were. Bow the head down and just focus for a moment on something really positive, something that you would like to happen in your day or in your life. Or it could simply be an affirmation. So you could say, I am working on being strong and balanced. Or it could be that you could say, I am strong, I am balanced. So something like that, something really positive that's going to help to enhance your practice, something that's going to flavor your practice, something that's going to just allow the mind to be more positive, think more positive thoughts. Good. And then from here, just bring the hands back down if they were at the heart, still with the eyes closed. Begin to deepen your breath. So just send the breath a little more deeply into the body than you normally would. And when you do this, you just start to control your breathing. And this is really what a yoga practice is all about. It's a breath practice more than movement. But in our practice today, we're going to be linking this powerful breathing technique with our movements. So deepening the in-breath and matching that with a nice long out-breath through the nose. Feeling the expansion of the torso as you breathe in, and then feeling everything coming back to center as you exhale. So really tune in to the movements that your body makes as you breathe. Breathing in, breathing out. And if you can, you're making a nice soft sound with the throat. So you're gently closing the muscles of the throat over to create a nice soft echoey sound like a distant ocean. So keep going with this breath until our relaxation at the end blinking the eyes open. We're going to slowly make our way to child's pose. So come to the back of your mat or your practice space. And bring the big toes together, take the knees wide, ease the hips back and slide the hands forwards. So take the head and the arms to the floor. If the head doesn't comfortably come down to the floor, you can stack the fists and that will help to support the head. Or you can use a cushion or a block. And that just allows the neck muscles to really relax. Okay, so choose comfort in this pose. Notice that when you breathe in, the chest rises and the back opens, and then when you breathe out, you sink down a little more. So just be aware of that. You're not really actively doing anything with the body other than focusing on the nice deep breath. Good. And when you're ready to inhale, lift the head up and come up onto the hands and knees. So you're coming into tabletop position. And from here, really spread the fingers, anchor down through your foundation. And we'll take an inhale, lifting the head up. Exhaling to round through the spine. Inhaling to lift the head up. Exhaling to round through the spine. And do that again. So you're lifting the tailbone up, lifting up through the back of the head. When you're exhaling, you're really pulling the belly in, tucking the tailbone under, tucking the head in. So you're just playing with the movements of the spine between flexion and extension, and you're warming up the muscles, stretching the body out. Again, just helping to achieve a bit of balance. Okay, and speaking of balance, we'll come into tabletop balance posture. Okay, so for this pose, you're sending your right leg back. Pressing down into the toes, pressing the heels strongly away. Draw your belly in for support and press up between the shoulder blades. Press your right hand into the floor as you begin to lengthen up through that left arm. So keep your gaze down here. So it just helps to keep the neck in a really good position. So the gaze is down, but the back of the head is still lifted. Then if it feels okay, you're reaching away through the ball of the foot, lifting the leg up and breathing deeply. Try not to hold the breath here. So just do one more round of breathing, and then when you're ready to exhale, take the hand down, take the knee and foot down and settle for a moment. Don't worry if there were any wobbles there, that's normal, just keep trying. So you press the toes down of the left foot now, lifting up with the back thigh. Okay, draw the belly in, press up between the shoulder blades and press your left hand into the floor. Now lengthen your right arm forwards, your gaze is still down, listening to the breath, and then pressing up with the back leg, press away through the ball of the foot and keep listening to the breath here. Any wobbling is absolutely fine. If you need to, you just bring the fingertips down. Okay, when you're ready to exhale now, take the hand to the floor, the knee to the floor. So you can see how that starts to build a good bit of strength. So from here, we're going to tuck the toes under and then lift the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Now in down dog, if the backs of the legs feel a little tight, or if your shoulders are taking all of the weight, bend your knees and lift the hips up and away from the wrists. Now let the head drop. Think about opening across the shoulders a little, listening to the breath. You might need to take the hands a bit wider. Make sure you're pointing the index finger forwards at 12 o'clock. Okay, and from here, you're bending the knees a little more, stepping your feet in towards the front of your mat, and bring the hands to the shin bones, or maybe above the knees. Take a deep breath in, lengthen up. When you're ready, you're breathing out, forward fold. Hands can come to the floor or to your blocks. And then a deep breath in, come all the way up to rise. reaching the arms upwards, and exhale, the arms come down. So we'll do a slow sun salutation now. Deep breath in, reach the arms upwards, looking up. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees, hands come to the blocks or the floor. Inhale, lift the hands onto the shin bones, lengthen up. Exhale, root the hands down into the floor and step your feet back, come to plank pose. Inhale in plank, exhaling to lower the body down to the floor. Inhale, lift the heart up for cobra pose. Exhale, take the heart to the floor. Inhale, come up onto the hands and knees. Exhaling, hinge back to child's pose. Deep breath in, come up to rise, tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. You can bend one knee and press the opposite heel to the floor. If this pose feels like it's too intense, then please come down onto the knees. You can do cat-cow again or take a child's pose. Always alternate whenever you need it. Remember, this is your practice. You're doing this for you, nobody else. So bend the knees and step the feet forwards. And lift the heart high, and then exhale, bow the head down. Take a deep breath in, float all the way up to standing, looking up, and then exhale, the arms go wide. Back to equal standing pose. Good, so from here you're bending the knees, take a big step back with the right foot. Okay, so a nice long stance if you can, and then lift the left toes up and turn the foot around, and then turn the right foot around and bend into your right knee. So we're going to come into warrior two. You're floating the arms up. You might want to take a bigger step, so a step back, so that you've got a longer stride here. And what this will do is it'll work the legs really quite powerfully. It's a strong pose, but it's important that you don't shoot the knee over the ankle. It needs to be either directly above or further back. Okay, you need to look after the health of the knee. So lift the heart high and look down the middle finger of the right hand. Make sure the shoulders aren't shrugging up, so lowering them down, breathing deep, opening across the chest. Good, and from here, lower the right forearm to the thigh. Lean your body back and then inhale, reach your left arm up and over. So you're creating a lovely long diagonal stretch here. Now you can look straight ahead, or if you like, if your balance is good, look towards the palm of the hand. Good, one more breath, keep the left shoulder relaxed. And then inhale, bring it back. Lengthen that leg and turn back into warrior on the left side now. So just adjust the feet if you need to. You're aligning the heel to the inner arch. This pose, as with all the poses, it's a real balance between effort and ease. So a lot of effort in the lower half of the body, but you want to feel easeful, like a swan in the upper half. Okay, and when you're ready to exhale, we'll come into our side bend. So the forearm comes down to the thigh. If it's too much to bring the forearm, you can always just rest the hand. Okay, but reach up and over. So you want a nice long diagonal line with the side body. Maybe looking up towards the palm of the hand. Good. If there's any trouble in your shoulder, you can always just leave the arm out of the equation. Good. Inhale supports you to come all the way back up and straighten that leg. Turn the toes in and bring the hands to the waist. So when you look down at the feet now, you might want to make sure that the outer edges of the feet are parallel, more or less. Notice how that feels in the knees though. If it feels better to turn the toes out, that's fine. But root the feet firmly down with a bend in the knees. For this pose, you may actually want to use a block or two. Okay, so have something handy to bring the floor up to you if you have trouble forward folding. So hands to the waist, Take a deep breath in and glance up. Exhale, forward fold. So as you tilt forwards, you're keeping the spine long. Okay, so you're keeping the spine nice and long, and then maybe you lower the hands onto the legs or taking them to the floor. If you can't reach the floor, you're taking the hands to your support. Okay, so if it feels all right for you to take the feet up a bit wider, that's fine. If it feels okay for you to bring the hands to the floor and the head down, that's fine. But please never ever push yourself. You're just gently meeting your limits with kindness and patience. Okay, if you can, really let the head go. And on your next breath in, lift up halfway. Bend your knees again a lot, and then bring the hands to the waist. Pause here, draw the belly in. Deep breath in to come all the way up. And then step back towards the front of your mat. Okay, so coming to the front end of the mat, just pause for a moment here. Notice the energy that's moving around the body. You might feel quite energized after those strong poses. Now we're going to come down to the floor. So we'll do that via a half sun salutation. So take a deep breath in, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to lift the heart high. Exhale, root the hands, step the feet back, come to plank. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower to the floor. Inhale to float the heart up. Exhale, take it down. Inhale, come up to rise. Exhale for child's pose. Inhale for down dog. Exhaling to reach the heels towards the floor, but don't worry if they do not reach. Maybe you're bending the knees. And then from here, bend your knees a lot more, and then just come into a seated pose any way you can. So you can do that just by kneeling and then sitting back, or if you like, you can try this. So you're taking the right shin bone forwards, left shin bone forwards, and then rolling over, and then bringing the legs to the floor. Okay, so from here, we're just going to do a nice twist. So bring the right knee in towards the chest. Take your right hand behind you. Just pull that knee in towards your body. Press the body in towards the thigh and look over the shoulder. You might like to hug that knee in a bit closer, or maybe you're taking the elbow to the outside. So again, don't force the twist. Never ever forcing anything in a yoga practice. You're always moving with kindness, consideration, control, and the breath is really your guide along the way. Inhale, bring it back to center and lengthen the leg. We'll do the other side. So bending the left knee, take it in with the right hand. Left hand moves behind you. Really lengthen up through your spine as you then twist. Okay, and definitely don't lead with the head. You're leading with the center of the chest in this twist. Good. Keep pulling the thigh in towards the abdomen, towards the chest. Good, and then release from here. So we'll make our way to the floor now. So you can hug behind the knees, roll down through the spine, lying on your back, which might feel quite nice after all of that. And we're just going to bring the feet about hip width apart. Okay, so if you have a bolster, if you have a block or a couple of cushions, you can use them if you like. So I'm going to give you two options. Either you're coming into a restful bridge pose, okay, a supported bridge pose with something underneath the back, like this. Or if you want to make it more dynamic, you're just using pressure downwards through the feet and interlacing the fingers under your back, walking the upper arms in towards each other and breathing when you're here. If you're doing the restful pose, you're just relaxing as best you can, really relaxing your abdomen. If you're in the more dynamic pose, press the feet into the floor as though you wanted to stand up. One more breath, relax the neck. And then release the hands and roll the spine all the way down. Slowly, slowly does it all the way towards the floor. Good. Now hug the knees in towards the chest. And you can rock side to side. Hold on to the knees and create a nice slow circle. It's like you're drawing a circle on the floor with your lower back. So there's loads of tight connective tissue around the lumbar, the sacral area and the lower back. So this is a nice massage you're offering yourself just now. Okay, and then from here, just take the feet down. You might need to get up again to get your socks on, get your jumper on, get lots of blankets around you, maybe a cushion under your head, because it's time for Shavasana. Now Shavasana is your resting pose. So to do that, you're lying flat on your back with the legs wide and the arms out about 45 degrees from the body. Now, if your lower back feels uncomfortable when you try this out, a really good way to alleviate that discomfort is to have something under the knees. So I'm just going to grab my bolster quickly to show you. You can do this with cushions. Make sure the heels can still rest on the floor. Okay, so you might need to scoot yourself around until you feel very comfortable, but please get comfortable. It's really important. This pose actually requires you to do nothing. Okay, so if you feel uncomfortable in any way, that might niggle you as you're trying to rest. So make sure you're really comfy, you're really warm, and you can take the hands onto the belly if it's uncomfortable in the shoulders. Okay, so just see how it feels. Arms out or hands on the belly. Good. Now just settle for a moment. Take the heels away from the hips, take the wrists away from the shoulders if they're extended, and rock the head a little bit side to side, and then let it come to the center. Take a deep breath in through the nose, exhale side out through the mouth. And again, deep breath in. One more time. Notice the points of your body that meet the floor and sink down into these points. Let go of any holding, any tension in your muscles, in the connective tissue, in the organs, in the abdomen especially. Let go of any effort with your breath. Let go of any thoughts. Don't resist them, but just any thoughts that come into the mind, just imagine them floating in, floating out, like clouds passing across a blue sky. You might be aware of the flow of energy that's moving around you now. Just tap into those sensations. Maybe feeling like heat or vibration. And take this time to allow your body to rest. And when the body rests, it can heal. So if you have time now, please continue your rest. But if you need to get up, you're very slowly moving the body again. Breathing more deeply, stretching yourself. And taking your time to come up to rise. And if you're resting, you can take as long as you like, 5, 10, 15 minutes if you can. But for everyone else, if you're done, hands together, remind yourself of your intention. Take that with you. Namaste.